Hi, I'm Jimmy Roth. I want to share a quick story with you about a friend of mine named Kyle. When I was in college, I spent one of my summers working at my home church with the youth group, and we had a kickoff event, and I met Kyle that night. He was not a Christian, but we got to playing basketball where he absolutely destroyed me. I'm 5'6", so basketball is not my spiritual gift. But I remember telling him, Kyle, why don't you come to church Sunday? Afterwards, let's have a rematch. Loser buys the other one Taco Bell. So of course, he and I both knew I would be paying for tacos. Well, we got together and I got to know him a little bit better and I got to share Jesus with him. And that conversation led to another, and we met weekly. That became our thing. We go to Taco Bell and talk Jesus. And I learned over those conversations that Kyle had some bitterness towards his parents, namely his dad, who hadn't really been around in his life. So it began to make sense why Kyle was struggling at the idea of receiving love. And so we had a weekend retreat towards the end of the summer, and at the end of the speaker session, he found me outside on a bench and he said, I'm very tired of carrying this bitterness. I understand I have a need for Jesus, but I can't live holding on to this anymore. And so I want to accept him. I need him. And I remember we prayed together. It was very emotional and it was incredible. And afterwards, it was kind of like watching a hardened shell melt away a little bit. It was so powerful to see God moving in his heart. And it just reminded me, listen to the promptings of the Holy Spirit. Go and have that conversation. And it also taught me to be patient and trust that God is at work. Even if a conversation leads to another and it doesn't happen as fast as you want, as long as we're showing up and sharing Jesus, we can trust that God will use those conversations and do great things.